Hi, Kitty Quinzel here. I've just finished another shoot, as you might be able to tell from my funky eyeshadow. Today I thought I would cover the subject of checklists for tour, which is something I said a few videos back that I would continue with, and then I didn't. So here I am doing it now. Checklist for tour. So, there's so many things you need, and it is very hard to pack light. But if you take the essentials, you can manage it. So, essential things to take with you. From the top, obviously your clothes that you are going to either wear for the photographers or wear day to day. Make sure that the clothes that you take with you for day to day do not have tight hemlines, so they're nice and loose here and here. Make sure that they don't have hard seam lines. Make sure that they are loose fitting, and socks as well. Actually, socks I tend to wear, if it's really cold, I wear bed socks, because bed socks don't have the they don't have that hard ankle line that other socks have. So they're really useful, and they keep your feet warm in between shots as well, which is very useful. Bras, I would just tend to avoid them altogether, but if you do wear one, I would recommend the soft type bralettes that you can get from Primark for a couple of quid, because they're great, they don't leave marks, they're comfortable, and they do the job. Yeah, so they're great. Accessories, you can take a few, you know, earrings, necklaces, that kind of thing. I tend to pack them down in like a little Ziploc bag, so they don't take up as much room. Now then, coming to the more model essentials. Makeup types. So, makeup. You need your makeup brushes. You need at least 2 lipsticks. I would say maybe one red, one pink. You need some sort of colour for your eyes. A small palette of 6 colours will do it just fine. You need your mascara. You need a decent foundation, a decent moisturiser. Moisturiser can not only be used on the face underneath makeup, but you can also use it to soften and shine up areas when you're shooting them. So for example, if you want your legs to look shiny on camera, you can use moisturiser, and it'll just give them a softer and a nicer sheen. It'll just look nicer on camera. Toiletries. You want your own shampoo with you, especially if you're like me and you need a specialist shampoo, because if you use that cheap horrible shampoo, for example, it's got all the silicone in it, that it totally screws up foundations. It totally screws up extensions. Yeah, and also it draws the colour out of my hair as well, so I have to re-dye it all, and it's just a nightmare. So yeah. Razors for, you know, the usual hair removal, especially if you're away for a few weeks, because it is going to grow back. These are the things that we forget, so it's always good to have an actual checklist. In fact, I actually write down a checklist so I know exactly what I need to take with me. Other things you might not think of. Slippers. Slippers are useful not only to keep your feet warm with cold floors, but also good because if you have a particularly dirty or dusty floor, it keeps your feet clean. For this reason, I would also say makeup removal wipes are useful, because you can actually use them to wipe the dust off your feet. Touch up anything quickly, say if your lipstick is smudged. If you are like me and you pose with your hands on your face a lot, then yeah, lipstick tends to smudge and end up on your chin, which doesn't look too clever. They're also really good for shining up shoes, so I've found that makeup removal wipes are extremely useful. The other thing that I would say you should probably take with you is a dressing gown, because not everybody will provide you with one, and let's face it, it's good to have a bit of dignity in between shots. Now, sometimes if you're confident enough with somebody, or you're just one of those non-inhibitions people, maybe you like walking around naked, but it's good to have something to quickly cover up in, especially if you are working on location again and you need to cover up quickly to hide from a member of the public. Like you might remember my little naked escapade in the Netherlands with Bobby. Yeah, a dressing gown might have been useful at that point in time when the bikes came towards us, but it was fun. But people are a lot less forgiving here in the UK, and you don't want to be arrested. Yeah, and you can't always promise that other countries aren't going to be as strict. So it's a good idea. Another thing that I would say to take with you is cotton buds. Cotton buds are useful if you lose makeup brushes. They're useful as just a quick thing to use for makeup remover and then sort of like touch areas up quickly, rather than, you know, wiping off your entire face and starting again, especially if you're working on a strict time limit, which you often are on these tours. There was another thing. Yeah, the other thing to take with you is plasters. Because you have to look out for yourself, and quite frankly it's a good idea to have a small first aid kit with you. Talking of which, that reminds me that also if you are the kind of person that is likely to get nervous last minute, or indeed suffer with pollen or fur or anything like that, hay fever tablets, antihistamines are a very, very good idea, and I would recommend them to anybody. When I first started modelling, I used to get what we call hives, which is when you get a horrible red rash right up your neck. And it was literally just me being nervous about the fact that I was doing a shoot and I really wanted to do a good job. And it looked awful, but it turned out that actually if I took an antihistamine an hour beforehand, I didn't get it at all. So it was really useful. And the last thing that I would say you should take with you, which I believe I probably mentioned in another video, is good walking boots, because if you are working on location, you will likely have to trek off the beaten path through thistles and through mud, and you don't want to do it in your best white trainers because it's gonna look awful. So big walking boots with you, and if you do have to transport them, the best thing to do is to wear them on the plane because they are the most heavy thing you have. And yeah, so I think that's about it as far as I can remember. If I have missed anything, please feel free to comment and let me know what I have missed, and please feel free to comment and tell me off for stuttering and forgetting my words. And let me know what you want me to do the next video on. Okay everybody, have a great day. Bye!